Companies that are trying to move to the cloud need to migrate their data. This data is often spread over multiple databases and technologies, and often on a terabyte scale. Migrating such large volumes of data often requires several days. It can get even more challenging if the client has legacy technical debt and they have stretched the SQL Server databases beyond its capacity. What if we told you we moved 20 terabytes of data in just under 16 hours despite these challenges? How did we do it? Our client, a leading CRM company, wanted to migrate 20 terabytes of data from SQL Server on one data center to SQL Server on the Azure platform. Our client has a global presence, and that meant we had a very limited window of just 48 hours to migrate all the data during their downtime. There could be no do-overs. There are several ways to migrate data to Azure, including the data migration services and tools, data box bulk migration, and SQL Server replication. Each of these had issues in this specific scenario due to limited internet bandwidth, some really old legacy systems, third-party backup vendors, and database schemas that were not compatible with SQL Server replication. To overcome these challenges, we opted for the next best solution possible, setting up a dedicated express route circuit. We established a higher bandwidth dedicated 10 gigabits per second express route circuit between the hosting provider and Azure. This, in theory, would allow us to transfer all the data well within 20 hours. In addition to migrating the data over to Azure, once there, it had to be backed up to ensure a reliable solution once customers started rejoining. The challenge was finding the perfect cost-effective balance between network, VM, and disk I/O bandwidth, so we could come as close as possible to the express route's capacity. We set up a SQL Server on a VM that had sufficient network and disk I/O bandwidth to match the maximum capacity of Azure's best drives available in Canada region. We chose to use 3 8 terabyte drives to cover the 20 terabyte data requirement. These were also the largest and fastest drives that are supported by the disaster recovery protection. Now, with these set up, we needed to use a data copy tool that could handle such large volumes and maintain high transfer speeds. Microsoft had a prototype tool that is specifically designed for such edge case scenarios. Once the migration started over the weekend, it took us just over 16 hours to transfer the 20 terabytes of data, and then an additional 20 hours to complete the backups. The success of this data migration now allows the client to host their product on a first-class cloud platform. Some of the immediate benefits are a reduction in hosting costs and improved reliability. Contact us today to learn how we can help you with your data migration.